Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you joining us this morning for what we hope will be the launch of a very good resource for you as you conduct your business. We have partnered with a company called PunchList. Our product is called HPWPunchList. In a nutshell, PunchList is a company that has the capacity to give you pretty much quotes on inspection reports within 24 hours, 7 days a week. And they are a general contractor, so they have the background and knowledge to quote the work as well as do the work. And the idea being to put you in a position where you can offer that service to your clients and free up you from being the person to coordinate multiple vendors for your clients and turn that over and put it in the hands of PunchList. PunchList is based in Charleston. We have their partner, one of their owners, on board with us this morning, Jimmy Banyas. Good morning, Jimmy.
Morning, guys.
So Jimmy's going to take us through their product here in just a few minutes. PunchList is in about 15 major markets, mostly throughout the Southeast, and I think a little bit in the Midwest. And, you know, Jimmy, you might have added a few more since we've talked. But it's the perfect combination of a real estate agent and a general contractor who identified a need within the real estate business, came together to create a company, and we are pleased to have them partner with us to offer their services for you. So with that, I will turn it over to you, Jimmy.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Like David said, my name is Jimmy Banyas, one of the founders of PunchList. And, you know, just a little bit of background on me and how PunchList started. I've been selling residential real estate for about 18 years. And about 5 years ago, a buddy of mine, who's now my business partner, Rich Estes, he was a contractor on the side, and he knocked out about 5 home inspection repair lists for me. And we just sat down over a beer and kind of broke out the real estate contract, what needed to happen, you know, with the home inspection, right after the home inspection, and then all the way to closing with the repairs. And we just decided to start a company, and we called it PunchList. And we cheersed our beers, and the lady at the table next to us turned around and said, "I need you next week," and gave us her business card. And we did our first PunchList job the next week, and we were off and running, got them to closing. So I'm just going to run you through a little slide deck here, kind of tell you about PunchList a little bit. Then we're going to jump into a little live demo of how to operate the system. It's very simple. We wanted to make it as simple as possible for the real estate agents out there. So with saying all that, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to present. Let me get to the top. Which one at the top? Sorry. So PunchList, we work exclusively with real estate agents to handle all the repairs off a home inspection. Like I said, we built this company specifically for this. We weren't building decks. We weren't renovating kitchens. We just decided to start this company specifically to work with real estate agents. And we are a one repair solution, one-stop guaranteed quality solution, consistent in every transaction. And that's what we really wanted to set out and start is bring a consistent process to the home inspection world, which there hasn't been a consistent process forever. And you know, maybe ours isn't the perfect process, but at least it's consistent. At least you know what you can rely on us. You know what's going to happen after that home inspection. You can relay that to your clients and hopefully rely on us to be a value add resource for that real estate transaction. You know, our difference is with our partnership, like David was saying, we don't do this with everybody. Typically, our non-partners are paying $49. It's about to be $99 per estimate. But for you guys, it's a free 24-hour turnaround on all estimate requests. That includes full home inspections, termite reports, engineers reports, radon reports, any report that you need assistance with, you know, upload it into the site. I'll show you how to upload here shortly, and we'll turn around that estimate for you. All of our contractors are licensed pros. That includes license, insurance, workers' comp. We have a workers' comp program that we provide that a lot of independent contractors don't use, but we provide that. So anytime you guys need any of that documentation, we'll be happy to provide that to you. And we manage the full project, from start to finish. If we need plumbers, electricians, handymen, if we need a full scale roof replacement, which we're always going to subcontract out because of the warranty information, we'll still manage that process from start to finish. So you guys and your clients will have one point of contact to handle all the communications from the contractors to the agents and back and forth. And with everything we do, everything we repair, we offer a 1-year warranty. And that stays with the house. No matter if the sellers paid us, the buyers paid us, does not matter. That all stays with the house. And within that 1 year, if it's a year and a half, we're going to honor it. But if anything arises, typically it's a leak around a flashing area that we'll have to go back out and maybe repair again. But we're going to be here to honor that 1-year warranty. And we have some flexible payment options. One, we don't require any deposits under $10,000. Anything over $10,000, we ask for a 30% deposit. And then when we're inside the real estate transaction and we do those repairs, you guys can defer that payment to closing and be paid off the settlement statement. We actually prefer to get paid at closing. We know that we're going to get our checks. We don't have to chase checks like a typical contractor, especially if a client has moved states, then we got to track them down, 3 states away. So deferring that payment to closing makes it a lot easier for us and your seller clients or whoever's paying us. And then there's always options of escrow. I know some different escrow companies or attorneys or settlement companies don't like to escrow those funds, and maybe the lender doesn't like to escrow those funds as well. But that's always an option. We have a lot of clients that go ahead and just cut us a check, have the agent hold it or the new buyer hold it, and then we do the repairs post-closing for that new buyer. And we're at any point in the transaction. Right now with the market the way it is, obviously there's not a lot of upfront repairs that need to happen with multiple offer situations and so forth. But we do a lot of pre-listing work. And right now it's a lot more cosmetic with painting a red wall, doing some new flooring, whatever it may be. Rely on us to get that house ready for listing. And as the market shifts and becomes a little bit more of a buyer's market, obviously that house is going to need to be in a little bit more top condition. And that's where the pre-listing repairs will come in. Second is the contract to close, traditional model. Home inspection occurs, we do the work, we get paid at closing inside the transaction. That's really our bread and butter. We focus on that speed in the communication to make sure that process is less stress-free as possible for everybody involved. And then the post-close work. During COVID, we started doing a lot more post-closing work. Buyers, sellers didn't want a lot of contractors in their house. Buyers just wanted the house. So then after closing, we'll honor our estimates are good 30 days post-closing. We'll get in there, we'll make those repairs. And, we try to be there day of closing, day after closing, however the hours work, and go ahead and knock them out so your new buyer can enjoy their house. And this is a good time for the new buyers to add things that we typically wouldn't go out and do: hanging ceiling fans, new light fixtures, door locks, things like that. So it's a good time to go ahead and add those things on while our contractors are there. So this is a snapshot of your site that we've co-branded, with HPW, powered by PunchList. I'm going to show you how, to operate this system here in a minute, going through it live. I just wanted to put that slide deck up there so you guys have a view of what your landing page and what your page getting a free estimate is going to look like. With that, our repair estimates, it's a simple upload process that we'll walk through here in a second. We'll get you the full estimate by next day, and that becomes in an email format, and it comes into two formats: a PDF and a live interactive version. And that live interactive version allows you to modify your estimates online. And we'll walk through that here in a second. But if you can remove and add items back on there. And then from there, you just hit that orange button. You see the little cursor moving around to go ahead and approve and schedule. That'll go ahead and get in touch with our success manager, start the scheduling process. I'll show you in a minute how we, what questions we ask in the way of, is the home vacant? How do we access it? So forth and so on. And then we manage everything from there, from the repairs moving forward. We've also added ability for agents, homeowners, whomever, to create their own repair list. So a lot of agents are taking advantage of this for the pre-listing side of things. They don't want to have a full home inspection completed, but they know they have 5, 6 items that they want to take care of, like painting a wall or rotten wood, on the steps leading up to the front door of the house, whatever it may be. This is where you as an agent or you as a homeowner can take a picture of that, come into our site, and build your own list. Pretty simple process. Attach a picture to it, and then it acts like just like uploading a home inspection would for us, and we'll get you that estimate turned around by next day, and then we can go out there and do those work. We also have another option on the estimate. It's called Speak to an Expert. We added this to really be a consultant for buyer, seller, clients on what they should repair, what the main focus on these home inspections are. There's a lot of ticky-tack stuff on these home inspections that these inspectors call out, but this is where you guys can go set up an appointment with one of our experts. We have 2 experts. They're both licensed GCs, and they're both licensed home inspectors. So they're a great resource to talk you through whatever issues that you have, and rely on them. Let them talk to your agents off the ledge. It's a great resource for you guys. Oops, sorry. And that is a little slide deck on PunchList. Down here, and I will put this in the chat box, your partner.punchlistusa.com/HPW. That's your site. I'm going to show you how to operate it here in a second. So we'll put that in the chat box, and it's live right now. We've had a couple agents take advantage of us. Or take advantage of the site, and we've already gotten a couple repair jobs from you guys, which we appreciate. So I'm going to get us out of this if I can.
So Jamie, are you going to go ahead and show us what an estimate looks like when it comes back to the agent?
I am, if I can somehow get out of this screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, so guys, this is your landing page, your dedicated landing page. Obviously, we branded it HPWPunchList, which is a nice brand. So you guys can push this onto your clients if you want them to upload, if you want them to take advantage of this, either way. So from here, just come to the site, and all you got to do is hit this free estimate button. I'm on Carolina One's internet, so might be a little slow, John. So from here, pretty simple. Just come in, type the address of the house in question. Yes, this is correct. And then we're going to ask a couple bits of information from you guys. This just helps us understand where the transaction's going from a buyer's agent, seller's agent, homeowner, closing coordinator, whomever's taking advantage of this. So from a buyer's agent, and we're going to ask for the agent information and then buyer's information. If you don't want us to have the buyer's information and you want to handle all the communications back and forth, just double up your name, and we'll just communicate directly to you as the agent. Next page is estimating closing date. This gives us a good idea of how far out, how quick we need to be out there, and how much time we have to get those repairs done. And then over here, how soon do you need those repairs completed? Everything's ASAP, so that's pretty standard. And from here, you can just go ahead and upload that home inspection. Let me see. Let's do this. This is a C100 repair list. You'll see this little ticker up here. Sorry about the speed here. The hourglass, the old hourglass. It'll get there. I'm blaming Carolina One, John. All right, come on. Okay, so that's done.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Continue to the next page. Obviously, we like to have a dedicated repair list. It makes it a lot easier for you guys what actually you want repaired. Obviously, we understand that home inspections, you want everything. You want to understand the pricing of everything involved. But with a repair list, we'll get a little bit more detailed. If you don't have it, no big deal. You can just hit continue. And then here's the review and submit button. Once you hit submit my estimate, obviously here's going to be the date that we're going to bring back that estimate to you. All you got to do is hit submit my estimate, and it'll go into our queue. That's when the estimating team starts parsing out the home inspection into our platform and be able to turn around that estimate for you. So once we get that estimate completed, you'll see an email like this come through. Your estimate is ready for 1710 Starling Drive, College Station. This estimate comes in two formats, like I mentioned before. There's a PDF, and then there's an interactive link that takes you over to the estimate. This is where you're going to be able to customize it. This is a live estimate, so I'm going to get out of this and go into a test estimate, which here you go. So you'll see a couple of the functionality buttons that we talked about before, the approve and schedule, the speak to an expert. But really what I wanted to show you is the functionality of this estimate. So over here up the top, you see a total of $4,452 prepared for the address, standard stuff. But then when you come down here to the actual items, we built this system to mirror the home inspection. If you need light item pricing, if you need it broken down, we can resend you the estimate in a light item pricing. We just have one option to go either way, and we chose to mirror the home inspection. So everything's going to be in electrical category, and then we'll get down here to plumbing category. So it's based in categories. So every item here, you'll have a button over here under actions. And if the homeowner can caulk the tub, take care of that issue, you can come over here and remove that item from the estimate. You'll see where this estimate total in the plumbing changed to $390, and you see actually it turned red. So it's not removing it out of the system, it's just removing it off the estimate total. So if at a later date from a buyer's perspective or 6 months down the road, they want to revisit this, we can just always come back, add that item, and you'll see where the estimate updates totally right there. So if the homeowner's uncle's a plumber and you want to remove the whole plumbing category, you can remove the whole plumbing category, and it'll break out to and you can add them back as well. So same functionality, everything on this line item. So you can't really screw anything up because it's not removing to the system. So when you do get that estimate back, feel free to play around with it. If you have any questions, obviously give us a call. From here, once you get that total correct, you can come up to the approve and schedule button. And with this approve and schedule button, we're going to ask you a few questions, closing date, when the repairs need to be completed by, so forth and so on. It's a simple process to go through this. This is where you can tell us that you'd like to pay at closing, and we're going to ask you the settlement company's name so we can handle all the invoicing back and forth. Pretty simple to get going. If you guys know that the buyer and seller are negotiating credit, but you're representing the buyer and they want those repairs done post-closing, go ahead and approve this as soon as possible to give us a lead time to go ahead and schedule that. It makes it a lot smoother for us, a lot smoother for the new homeowner, so we can get those guys scheduled to be there day after closing to go ahead and knock those repairs out. Then we also have the speak to an expert button. This is a simple button, takes you over just to a Google Calendar. We have it in 15-minute blocks, but you can just add that simple information, confirm, and that'll either go to Adam or Dave. And they do a really, really good job at calming your clients down. These are just repairs. Anything can be fixed. I know a lot of wood rot and leaks and everything scares a lot of clients away. But they're there to, as a resource for you guys to really calm them down, make them feel comfortable that we can repair it, that anything can be repaired. And it's a really good resource that a lot of people take advantage of. And then last thing to show you is this repair list, your repair list builder that I showed you before. We just released this summer. It's not the prettiest. We're getting a new user interface guy to make this look a lot better, but it is functional right now. So, and if you need any help, we'll obviously walk you through it. But if you come in here and you know you need some GFCI outlet covers, come over here, quantity 4. We know what a GFCI outlet, so, you know, uploading the pictures, not that necessary. And then you can just add that item, add it to the list. And then as you build this list, it'll go into an electrical category for the GFCI outlets. Same thing with plumbing, you know, flush a water heater, replace garbage disposal. And then you can come over here and remove these items as well. But this gives a nice option to somewhat work as a home inspection in our system, but gives you the ability to go out, don't have to spend $400 to, you know, to find out 5, 6 items that you guys need to repaired. A lot of agents are taking advantage of this from the pre-listing side of things, just to get those real eyesores out of the house, and make it a little prettier, try to bring that value up and so forth. So from there, all you got to do is hit submit repair list. And then, you know, coming from your site right now, this will be free. You see, this is a test site. So it'll say 1 business day free. Just click on that. It'll get into our system and our estimators will start taking care of that.
Just for clarity, Jimmy, on our site, that won't pop up like that.
Correct.
Okay.
It's from the API triggers that we go from your guys' site. And I need to get your site up. Where did it go? Let me get this. I'm going to put this in the chat box. I screwed it up.
Matt already dropped it in there.
Oh, we did? Okay. Thank you, Matt. Well, I'm going to go to it. Well, can't be reached. Sorry for that. That's my screw up. But guys, that's kind of the presentation. Pretty straightforward. You know, and we look forward to working with you guys and being that resource that you can rely on. You know, we're always going to answer the phones. We're always going to call you back if it goes to voicemail. We want to be that consistent source for you guys that you know you can rely on. And, you know, that consistency is key in my world, to know what I can expect, to tell my clients what I can expect, what PunchList can deliver, instead of chasing multiple contractors around town. It's been great, and we're excited to be in Raleigh, and we got a great team up there to knock out all these repairs. So, David, that's my little pitch.
Good. Well, I know I've seen some questions come up in the chat box, so Matt, we'll get over to those in just a second. But Jimmy, would you also speak to the contractors that you use here in our market and so on, and how you go about that?
Yeah. So typically, the majority of our contractors are 1099 employees, subcontractors. We would like for them to be W-2s, and we do have W-2 contractors, but they don't want to. They want to be their own little business. But we have a strict vetting process, all background checked, all licensed and insured. We make sure of that, and typically, you know, we have turnover in the contractor world as well. But if they get to that second, third month, they really buy into our process, because we're actually running their back end business for them. We're doing all the marketing and the sales and the estimating and the conversion and the scheduling. So what they're doing is they're just showing up, they're doing what they do best, and that's be a plumber, that's be an electrician, that's be a handyman. And then, you know, we pay them the next business day. So once we get the receipts back. So these guys love working with us. We have guys that basically are full-time with us. They just choose to be 1099 employees. So they still call themselves subcontractors. So if they don't want to accept jobs on Friday, then they can go fishing, and, you know, we'll find our other contractors. But we have a full-time team developing our contractor network. And, you know, some are good, some are bad, and we get rid of the bad ones really quick. And we take care of the ones that are good, and they stay very loyal to us.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Let's see. I know there are a number of questions. Matt, have you been watching those?
Yep, I've got them for you, David.
Okay.
So we'll start with Marilyn. She asked if you have a structural engineer if it's needed by the inspection report? Do you have a structural engineer that you use?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
I can get you the name on that. I'm not 100% sure who it is, but yeah, we work with multiple structural engineers.
Awesome. And then this is a pretty easy question for you. We upload the complete inspection report and then delete those items that the buyer does not want repaired, correct?
Correct. That's an easy way for you to do it. If you don't want to define your list beforehand, upload that home inspection. If there's 50 items, we're going to give an estimate on 50 items, and then they can go into that estimate and remove those items. The estimate total will update automatically. You get the list like you want, hit schedule and approve, and those are the only items that we'll go out there and fix. Like I said, and it's not removing those items from our system, it's just removing them from the estimate and the work order. So at a later date, if they want to go back and revisit that estimate, that they can add those items and we can go do those at a later date.
Great. Comment, we love the 24-hour turnaround time for estimates. What is the average time to start a repair work? And then how many contractors are in the area?
Average dependent, probably 3 or 4 days on average to get our contractors out there. Now, that being said, if there's a fire with 2 days to go to closing, we're going to do everything we can to get out there and make whatever repairs necessary for you guys. Our goal here is to get you guys to closing. Yes, we do repairs, and yes, we are contractors. But our goal, and we know what you're trying to get through, is to get to closing. So we're gonna be that resource for you guys. If we got to go change a screen and a screen door because the dog ran through it the day before, we'll go out there and make sure that we get you to closing. We want to earn your business, and that's the only way to earn your business is to make sure that we're always there to help you guys.
Great.
So contractor area, typically we start out before we launch a city. We're going to have 3 plumbers, 3 electricians, 3 handymen. We're going to have at least two roofing companies, 2 foundation companies, chimney sweep, go on and on and on. So we have our set things, set contractors, set companies that we know we're going to need. We go out there and find those guys. We set a partnership up with them. And then before we go live, we're going to make sure we have that bench.
So in addition to the home inspection report, do they need to create a repair list from that report and upload it as well, or will you automatically do that?
You don't have to generate a list. If you want everything, that whole entire home inspection, looked at, great. It just depends a lot on which side of the transaction that you're representing. Typically, the buyers want to know everything on that list and what it's going to cost. If it comes to the seller, the buyers typically ask the seller to fix a list of items. So we kind of know, when it comes through it, and that's why we ask if you're, representing the buyer, representing the seller. We kind of know where that deal is going to go most of the time. And if it's a buyer, obviously we're going to do the work post-closing. Not a lot of sellers are going to want the buyer to bring in their own contractor, inside the transaction. So you don't have to have a list. Obviously, it makes it easier for us, but whatever you need to know, we'll be happy to help.
Right. So let me just clarify, Jimmy, the repair list is in addition to the inspection report. So what you were saying earlier, that if ultimately the work is going to be done, say post-closing, and the buyer wants a fan installed or something like that, those are the types of things that go into the repair list?
Yes. And,
Okay.
if we're there and we're fixing some stuff for the buyers, and they say, oh, can you hang a ceiling fan? We already have the fan. We're not going to go through the whole process of running it through the repair list. We'll just be out there, we'll put up a fan for them. But yeah, if you want to add some additional items, that's where that you build your own list can come into play.
Okay. What else you got there?
Jimmy, can you request itemized prices for things, or how do you get those?
Yes. So when you receive that email back with the initial estimate, all you have to do is reply to that. And that goes back to info@PunchList and just say, hey, is it possible to get this broken down in line item pricing? It's just a button in our system that we can go in our back end and break it down line item, and then we'll resend the email out. Like I said, we had an option to go either way, and we went with the breaking it down kind of to mirror the home inspection itself.
Great. And I assume they're able to share this with a client, so a client can request punch list repairs as well in their current homes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So we don't go, currently we're not direct to consumer. But we want to be that resource for you guys for HPW. So if you have a client that bought a house 3 years ago and they call you up and say, hey, Matt, I need a plumber and an electrician, can you help? We'll go out there and do that work on your behalf. We want to be the extension of HPW. And so, be that glue that, keeps you with that client for the life cycle of their house.
Great. And are there any repairs that you don't do?
No, but in saying that, we will always refer out a full roof replacement, large scale foundation work, and HVAC servicing. And we do that because of the warranty information. So, we're going to provide a 1-year warranty on any roof repair that we do, but for a full roof replacement, you want to go with that 20-year warranty from the roofing company. But we will manage that whole process. And then that way, you guys are only paying PunchList, and then we take care of whoever, subcontractors or partners that we've brought in. So it's always one point of contact with PunchList, always one payment point with PunchList, and that's all you have to deal with, and we'll handle everything else.
Great. Good question here. What's the coverage area for HPW?
We are in all of your offices, David. I think we're going to be able to cover. There was those 2 outlying offices that were questionable, but we're good there. So the whole triangle, Raleigh triangle, really, and I can share a coverage map. But if you need something in an outlying area, we're going to do everything we can possibly to cover that.
Great. This one was answered partially, but I want to make sure we get a good answer for it. Can you do foundation repairs from a engineer report?
Yes.
Great.
And that structural engineer's report, you can upload it just like a home inspection in our site.
Great. How do you manage conflicts, late or missed appointments, seller concerns with craftsmanship?
Well, the seller concerns for craftsmanship, we're always going to stand by our work. And if they don't like it, if there's a re-inspection from the inspector gets one of our repairs called out, then we're going to go out there and we're going to make sure that we get it done right so the deal can close. We stand behind our work. Obviously, that 1-year warranty is always there. But the conflicts, we pride ourselves on communication, whether it be email, phone, text message. That's one thing that we've instilled in all of everybody that works at PunchList is real estate agents have to communicate to a certain level, and we need to be on that communication level. And that's one thing that's always been a problem in the past. Contractors and real estate agents are on 2 different wavelengths from the communication side of things. And sometimes from a contractor side, they can't answer the phone. They're on a roof, they're underneath a house. But that's where we have what we call a success manager that's always going to be there to answer the phone for you, always going to be able to communicate with the contractors and so forth. But from the conflict side of things, like I said, we're going to stand behind it because we want your business. We want to make sure that you as an agent are going to refer us out or use us as a value add, for your next client and your next client. You might sell 20, 30, 40 houses a year. We know you're not going to need us for all 40. You might need us for 15 or 20. But we want to be that resource that you continually go back to.
Great. From an access point, once the repair is agreed to and the client isn't home, how will the contractor be able to access the house? Will the agent need to be present? That's
all up to the homeowner and the agent, and we will work around whatever schedules they need us to work around. Access to the house, if we can put a lockbox on there, get a 1-day contractor code, however it may be, we're going to work with you guys to make sure that we don't put anybody out on that.
Great. And you've answered this one partially, but can the buyer or seller upload their own repair list?
Sure, absolutely. And then in that drop down, when we ask in, your role in the transaction, there's one in there that says homeowner, and that's all you got to do is put homeowner, and that's it.
Great. Are the prices guaranteed? And the second one, are they competitive for our area?
Yeah. So this is an estimate, right? And we really strive to come in under estimates, but we are at the mercy of the home inspector's verbiage. Obviously, we like to get it as close as possible. Our estimates are good 30 days post closing, and sometimes the estimate does go up if we're pulling a piece of rotten wood off the backside of a house. and there's extensive termite damage, we're going to stop. We're going to take some pictures. We're going to communicate that to whoever's involved. We're going to let them know what's going on, and then we'll take it from there. Like I said, when we come in $200-300 under estimate, everybody's happy, and that's what we're striving to do. From the estimate being competitive, obviously we're not going to be as cheap as chucking a truck, the guy driving around your neighborhood. Who knows if his license is up to date, his insurance is up to date, and that does cost money. So we are competitive. I will say competitive, but we are a value turnkey service. So we're going to be a little bit more expensive than, a single handyman, a single plumber, a single electrician, but we're going to handle everything from start to finish. And when we started, and be total honest, our only negative feedback that we've ever received in this company is based on price. And so we've really, really over the years, from day one, have been trying to drive our prices down. We got them to where we're happy. The clients are typically happy. And then, from our service level, after they've used us, they're like, that was totally worth the money. And from there, everything's good. So I will say we're pretty competitive.
Great.
Let me just jump in there. One of the things I like about Jimmy's company is in order to turn around those quotes within 24 hours, obviously some of it is automated, but before it comes back to you, they actually have somebody review it to make sure that the automated system worked, gave good estimates, that they've handled everything that was in the inspection report. So they really go that extra mile to ensure that what the ultimate product that you're getting is a sound product. And yes, you pop off a board, there's rot, there's termites and so on. We all know that can happen. And there are some things that don't necessarily show up in an inspection report, but they go the extra mile to ensure that they are doing the best job possible with the information that has been provided and that comes out of the inspection.
Jimmy, do you guys offer septic and well repair if needed?
Yes. And that's one of the things we're always obviously going to bring in a specialist. But that's just like the roofer. But yeah, we got a septic guy now. We got a well guy. I know a little bit more rural areas. That's what's needed. So yes, we can handle that as well.
Great. And then Jeff, you talked about the Raleigh area, having that covered. One of our agents is covering the Greensboro Triad market to the west. Do you guys have any plans to go out that way, or do you have contractors who will head that way for you?
We have plans to get over there. Right now we want to focus on the the Raleigh area, but Greensboro and that's been on our radar for a while. And as we build out Raleigh, then it'll make sense to move over a little bit west and start managing that territory.
Great. And then do you guys do commercial as well, or only residential?
We do commercial. We don't do a lot of commercial. Typically, and the reason being is, when someone's coming into a commercial spot and moving walls and moving plumbing, it gets to be a bigger, pulling permits and all that stuff. But if you have a commercial unit turn where you need drywall work and paint work and, some fascia work or whatever, absolutely, we'll do commercial.
When someone is the success manager's name and number given at the time you get the response from the inspection report submission? So is there a contact on your end that they get?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm almost positive it's Allison Mitchell, but that may have changed, and I will make sure everybody's up to speed on that. And why we like to have a dedicated success manager is to build a relationship with the agents. They get to know how the agents operate. If they like to be on text or like to be emailed or phone called or whatever. But it builds a nice rapport, and agents don't have to deal with the plumbers and the electricians any longer.
Great. Couple more questions, and then we're almost wrapped up here. If work is requested and scheduled, what's the minimum notice needed if they change their mind and cancel the work and need to cancel the work? We don't have a minimum notice, but obviously we like as much notice as possible. But that's nothing we've ever looked at and said we need a 24-hour minimum notice. Obviously, the more we get, the better off we are. Yep. And then when working with a buyer, how would it be handled at closing? Seller debit and punch list paid directly? That
can happen as well. So a lot of times the seller or the a settlement company will cut a check, give it to the agent, made out to punch list. And then when we're done with our work, then you can hand that over. That's if they don't want to escrow. Now, hopefully, we're coming down with what we're calling punch list credits, which will work kind of like an escrow company, but it'll have, let's just say $4,000 for the new buyer of credit for those in lieu of repairs. Well, then they can bring punch list in and they don't have to use, they can use that $4,000 for whatever they want in repairs. If they don't want to fix certain things, they want us to hang TVs and all that other stuff. So hopefully we're looking at that by the first of the year, which will be a nice option for you guys.
All right, great. And then I got a softball for a last one for you. Can you handle all the repairs or improvements to our personal and rental properties?
Yes, we'll do the personals and the rental properties. Now with the rental properties, that being said, obviously we work off home inspections. We do have a $500 minimum. So, being the company to go out there and fix an ice maker Saturday at 8 o'clock at night, that's not what we strive to do. But if you're in a bind, let us know. We do a lot of rental turns. So when that tenant's moving out, bring us in, do carpet, paint, fix the holes in the wall, all that kind of stuff. We will absolutely do that for you guys.
All right, one more. I missed this one, Kevin Leingard. I apologize. If the inspection is vague about what is wrong with, say, a roof, is there a facility to get a contractor out to take a look and get advice?
Yeah, so that's part of our partnership program is free site visits. So we'll get our contractor out there, and it's that doesn't happen just with a roof. It's the vagueness of there's many fogged windows in the house. There's a bunch of joist hangers missing. These home inspectors are getting vaguer and vaguer because they keep getting sued more and more. So the count and the number, they don't want to miss one because then it's going to be $200 more. So that's where they're saying multiple windows, multiple joist hangers, extensive rotten wood. A lot of this stuff we're going to have to put eyes on. If it's for negotiation purposes, we're going to call you. We're going to ask what you're looking for. We'll be able to put a range on that for you. From a $500 to $1,000, kind of worst case scenario, best case scenario. If that's all you're looking for to negotiate, we can do that as well.
Awesome. And then this one came from Jamie Ferguson after looking at my desk. Do you guys offer junk or trash removal services?
We do have a junk and trash removal partner. If that's all you're looking for, we're going to refer you out to that guy. And then if you want to worry about payment at closing, we can adjust and figure that out. If we're doing other work on the house, yeah, we'll get some guys out there and remove that trash as well.
Awesome. That's all I have in the chat.
Okay.
A lot of good questions.
Yeah, they really were on target, no doubt. So a couple of things. First of all, I just want everybody to understand that our partnership with PunchList provides you the ability to get the quotes, et cetera, for free. And that's an extraordinary service that PunchList is providing to us and providing to you, obviously with the end game being to do the repair work. And like I said, one of the biggest things and assets that I see is to take that load of coordinating all those subcontractors off of you and put it in a trusted partner's hands. So we appreciate that partnership and thank you for it, Jimmy. Let's see, a couple other things. There is a tile on the HPW Now dashboard for HPWPunchList. I think it's on the top row or pretty close to it. So when you're interested in utilizing the program, that's where you should go. And it'll take you over to that website that Jimmy had the link for and that was posted in the chat. One of the things I really like about PunchList and Jimmy's team is their goal is to get in and get out. Regardless of the number of contractors that had to be coordinated and so on, they're not going to string you out for days or your buyers or sellers. They want to get in, get it done, and move on, which I really, really like because we all know as homeowners, a constant stream of contractors coming and going is not the greatest situation.
Yeah, and just to expand on that, David, a little bit. Yeah, our goal is we kind of factored it out. We can do about $2,500 in a day. So if your estimate's looking at about 3,500, $4,000, you're looking at like a day and a half, just to kind of give you an idea of timeline. But yeah, we're going to have plumbers, electricians, handymen, roofer. We're going to be out there one day, in and out. Here's your receipts. Your invoice and your receipt are going to have before and after pictures. So you're going to see the before picture from the home inspection, and then the after picture from our repairs. So you guys can take a look at that. That uses a nice resource as well.
Right.
And David, one other thing I failed to mention is our partnerships with a couple home inspection companies.
Mhm.
We have two integrated partnerships with US Inspect and Pillar to Post. And if you ever use those home inspections companies, you'll see when the home inspection comes over, there's a direct link from those home inspections to our site to request an estimate. Then you actually don't have to bring the home inspection over to your site, copy and paste, and do the old upload process. So it just makes it a little bit quicker for you and your clients to get that free estimate.
Right. Can we do one more question?
Yeah, and because that's a good one. It's if we have a contractor that would like to recommend to PunchList, is there a place to submit them, or who may we contact? Your guys' contact is Jason Weaver. I think Jason's on the call. Yeah, and we love referrals. We're just like real estate agents. We love contractor referrals because these guys, a lot of them are great handyman, plumbers, great contractors. They just don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to schedule time. They don't know how to chase checks. And that's what we want to be ultimately, a kind of a side business that kind of just developed from doing this is, helping these guys run and operate a very successful handyman business or plumbing business or whatever, and let them just go do what they're good at.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Jason posted his contact information in the chat if you want that, and we will find a place to get that that's convenient to you all. And one of the things, and just in wrapping up, that I really like, and it comes through so strongly from Jimmy, is he's been in your shoes. He understands what it's like, and his mission is to make your life better. And it's awesome to have a partner that understands, what your job is, what your role is, and what the challenges are. And I think it comes through so clearly from you, Jimmy, as you speak, that you understand the hurdles, the challenges, and the whole mission is to get the work done and make the life better for real estate agents.
And David, I probably sold 2 houses this year, probably 5 last year. And I just gave it a punch list. I'm like, y'all go do it, whatever, figure it out. And I wish it was back when I was doing it full time. It'd have been a hell of a lot easier, but I'm glad we developed it, and hopefully this partnership grows, and you guys can rely on us, and we get to meet everybody and really become a team and operate well together.
Right. Absolutely. So I think that will take care of it for us today.
Okay.
Like I said, be sure to log on, put them, to work. They are anxious to get started and to develop the relationships with you. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day, beautiful weekend.
Yep.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks, guys.